Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
Oh, so get this. We've got some marketing news that just makes you think like, wow, the future is here.
Yeah.
Like some seriously fascinating stuff, especially with AI.
Right. It's wild.
It's like straight out of a sci-fi movie. But we're also going to take a look at what makes Gen Alpha tick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all those folks born after 2010, they've never even known a world without smartphones.
Totally.
And we'll see how some brands are, well, they're already winning them over. So
Yeah, they're ahead of the curve.
yeah, totally. So let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
So first up, Google. They are making some big moves. They're integrating their Imagen 3 AI into their advertising platform.
Oh, wow.
And you might be thinking, what does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that actually look like?
Well, it means that users can, they can actually use AI to create and test these really eye-catching visuals for their ads.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's huge, especially for smaller businesses, you know?
Right.
Or even just individuals, people who maybe don't have the budget for a whole creative team.
Totally.
I mean, imagine being able to just design professional looking ad visuals just with the help of AI.
Yeah,
That levels the playing field for sure.
it really does. It makes things so much more accessible.
Totally, and opens up so much more creativity. You know, it's not about who has the most money to spend on a fancy team. It's just about, do you have a cool idea?
Exactly.
Can you put that into the AI and make something happen?
And they're not stopping there either. Google's also rolling out these shareable ad previews.
Cool.
So teams can collaborate on designs.
Yeah.
More seamlessly, you know.
Much easier.
Much easier.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they're enhancing their Performance Max campaign management tools, which, you know.
So that's what is that? That's Google's way of optimizing.
Yeah, it's basically their way of optimizing your ads across all the different channels.
Yeah.
From search to YouTube.
Oh, wow. So this is pointing to a bigger trend that we're seeing. AI is breaking down the barriers.
Yeah.
And giving more people access to these sophisticated marketing techniques.
Absolutely.
It's becoming less about having deep pockets and more about just having innovative ideas, which is so cool.
Absolutely. And it's not just Google either, right? Anthropic, they just released not one, but two new AI models. Claude 3.5 Haiku and Claude 3.5 Sonnet.
Whoa, 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, so Haiku, that one is the data cruncher.
Okay.
Perfect for tasks that involve sifting through tons of information.
So data analysis, heavy research, things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then Sonnet, that's the one with the amped up coding skills.
Yeah.
And it has improved reasoning for more complex multi-step tasks.
Oh, that's interesting.
So think of a company that wants to streamline its website development process.
Oh, okay.
They could use Sonnet to automate certain parts of that.
Right.
Which could save them significant time and money.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
So let's switch gears a little bit here.
Okay.
Let's talk visuals. Stability AI. They just dropped 3 brand new AI models. And these are specifically for generating images.
Wow, 3 new ones keeping us on our toes.
I know. And the best part,
What's that?
they're free.
Oh, nice.
Free for anyone to use for personal or non-commercial projects.
Wow.
So if you've ever wanted to play around with AI art
Right.
or just explore your creative side, this is your chance.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and what I think is really noteworthy about these models is the focus on, producing more diverse outputs.
Right. That's huge because there have been concerns in the past about AI models maybe, having biases.
Totally.
So it's really good to see that developers are prioritizing representation and inclusivity.
Yeah, for sure.
More of that, please.
Okay, so now let's talk about Gen Alpha.
Okay.
So these are, remember, the generation born after 2010, practically glued to their smartphones. And they have this this unique, almost absurd sense of humor. It's like nothing we've seen before.
It's different.
It's meme-driven, often chaotic, and sometimes it leaves us older folks just wondering, what is going on?
What are you talking about?
I know.
But that's exactly what makes them so interesting,
Right.
Their humor, it's a direct reflection of their digital upbringing.
Yeah.
These are kids who've grown up immersed in memes, viral videos, and just this constant influx of online content.
It's all they know.
It's all they know, and it's shaped their entire sense of what's funny,
Yeah.
which is fascinating.
And if you want to see how brands are like cracking the code to reach Gen Alpha, just look at Sour Patch Kids, Nutter Butter, and Crocs.
Okay, yeah.
They've all launched these campaigns that are really resonating with this younger audience. And you know what the common thread is?
What's that?
They're embracing the absurdity.
They're leaning in.
They are leaning all the way in.
I love that.
So let's take like Sour Patch Kids, for example. Their sour than sweet tagline. It's like practically made for these unexpected plot twists and these like playful surprises in their content.
Makes sense.
Like they're not afraid to get a little weird.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what Gen Alpha finds hilarious.
Right. They're not afraid to be a little out there.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Then there's Nutter Butter.
Okay, love Nutter Butters.
They're playing with like their iconic peanut shape, and creating these like bizarre, almost surreal scenarios that are somehow like both funny and relatable.
So like, what are we talking, like giant Nutter Butter statues popping up in random places?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Or like, Nutter Butter characters getting into all sorts of mischief.
Yeah, that's fun. So what's the takeaway here?
Yeah, what are we learning?
It seems like to win over Gen Alpha, you have to ditch the predictable.
Right.
And embrace the unexpected.
Yeah. Be willing to take risks.
Absolutely. And these brands are proving that authenticity, keeping things concise and incorporating like a touch of playful rebellion are essential for success in today's like ever-evolving marketing landscape.
It's a whole new world out there.
It is, really is.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, I want you to think about a recent ad that genuinely made you laugh.
Okay.
Like, what was it about that ad that worked? Was it the unexpectedness, the visuals, or maybe the way the brand like poked fun at itself? Keep that in mind because things are about to get even more interesting. I'm intrigued. What I find so fascinating is how these brands, they're tapping into this like larger cultural shift. Gen Alpha's humor, it's not just about like random silliness.
Right.
It's about finding the funny in the mundane,
Yeah.
In these like unexpected combinations of like everyday things.
Yeah, it's not as simple as just like throwing a bunch of memes together and hoping for the best.
No, not at all.
There's a real art to it.
Exactly. It's about understanding like the nuances of this generation's humor.
Yeah.
Knowing like what references will actually resonate with them.
Right.
And most importantly, like delivering that humor in a way that feels authentic to the brand.
It's almost like they're speaking a completely different language.
In a way they are, yeah. They develop their own like unique set of cultural codes and references that can be like difficult for older generations to grasp. But the brands that take the time to like learn this new language, to understand the humor that makes Gen Alpha tick, those are the brands that are going to be able to connect with them on a much deeper level.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes beyond just humor, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
These brands are also using their campaigns to connect with other values that are important to Gen Alpha, like inclusivity and self-expression.
Absolutely. Like Gen Alpha, they really value diversity, both in terms of like representation, but also individuality.
Totally.
They want to see themselves reflected in the brands they support.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to like express their own unique personalities through those brands, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, so it's not enough to just be funny.
Right.
You also have to be genuine, inclusive.
Right.
And give Gen Alpha the space to be themselves.
And that's the key takeaway here. Brands that can strike that balance.
Yeah.
Being funny, authentic and inclusive, all at the same time, those are the brands that are going to earn Gen Alpha's loyalty.
And that loyalty is so valuable.
Oh, it's huge.
Because, they're already starting to make their presence known as consumers.
They are. They're the future. And brands are finally starting to realize that we're seeing a real shift in marketing strategies as companies are like scrambling, trying to figure out how to connect with this new generation of consumers.
Yeah, it's not just about pushing products anymore, is it?
No, not at all. It's about cultivating relationships, building communities, engaging with Gen Alpha on their own terms, And
understanding that they don't just want to be marketed to.
Right, exactly.
They want to be a part of the conversation.
They want to feel like their voices are being heard.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to like help shape the brands they love.
Totally. So what does this all mean for brands that are still like struggling to connect with Gen Alpha?
Well, I think it means they need to be willing to like adapt, experiment, take risks, Be willing to step outside of their comfort zones and embrace that absurdity that Gen Alpha finds so appealing.
Stop taking themselves so seriously.
Exactly. Loosen up, have some fun, and remember that, at the end of the day, marketing is all about connecting with people on an emotional level.
Right.
And what better way to do that than through humor?
So if you're a brand and you're looking to win over Gen Alpha,
Yeah.
take a cue from these brands.
Yeah.
Embrace the absurdity, be authentic, and don't be afraid to show your true colors.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
That's a wrap.
That's our deep dive into this ever-evolving world of marketing.
The future is now.
It really is. We've seen how AI is reshaping the landscape
Totally.
and how Gen Alpha is setting these new trends.
It's fascinating.
Hopefully you're walking away feeling, informed, inspired,
Yeah.
and maybe even a little bit entertained
A little bit. Yeah.
by all of the exciting changes happening in the marketing world.
Yeah. It's a cool time to be in marketing.
It is. It really is. Until next time.
See ya.